I met a lot of men who have told me that they waited until like 18, 21 to have sex because they wanted to wait until marriage and they just messed up.
Right.
So it's very interesting because I think Gen Zs are like, especially the men, they're just ready. They're just like, they're hot and ready. But
I'm not gonna lie though.
Uh-huh.
Sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
A lot of people who I speak to, they didn't lose their virginity until like 16 or up. I'm not gonna lie. And the reason why I say that is because like 16 is still crazy to me. Like I'm not gonna lie. Anything in high school is still crazy to me. Because you're a kid.
Still don't know yourself.
Like you're literally a kid. Like I agree. You're a minor. Like that's actually a little bit insane to me. But that's
like to me, if you can't raise a child yet, you shouldn't. You know,
be doing the act of reproducing.
Sorry.
But that's neither here nor there. But I do notice that when it comes to when people have lost their virginity, I feel as though it's around the same age no matter what generation. Like when it comes to virginity in of itself.
Oh, when they lost it, yeah. But like the goal, I think, is a little different.
Oh, on like, you're saying like saving themselves and
yeah,
such?
like men actually, for me, I've met a lot of Christian men who actually wanted to.
Oh, that's why. They were Christian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. But that's another thing. When you're dating, no matter what age, make your intentions clear, especially when it comes to intimacy. And you know what I mean by intimacy. Because
let's explain why though, because a lot of people don't feel as though they should even have intentions.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing, right? Thank God for our church because they make it clear like we don't focus on sin.
Right.
We focus on Christ. And I think that's what makes us different. You know, that's what makes my page specifically too like different from a lot of Christian YouTubers and stuff, because a lot of Christians focus on sin. You'll see some of them too on TikTok, you know, just point out someone's blatant sin or no. Especially when it comes to the world, like telling them how to live Christ-like without teaching them about Jesus, without spreading the gospel is crazy. Because how you can expect them to live a way when they don't even believe in Him? And I think that it's a little similar with a babe in Christ, right? Instead of teaching them about who Jesus is love, Jesus' forgiveness of sin and all that, they go straight to sin. And when you focus on that more, you keep doing it. So I'm just saying that to say, what I'm about to say is important. It's not condemning you if you've already lost your virginity or whatever, like no condemnation at all. But God tells us like to wait until marriage for a reason. And one thing that helped me growing up was my mom said, watch your friends in a few years in like high school or stuff. See how many of them marry the person that they fell in love with. See how many of them get heartbroken by the boy that they lose their virginity to, etc., etc. Because no matter what you think, no matter what society tells you, you are kind of giving up a part of yourself when you're doing that, right? So if someone can't fall in love with you without getting that part of you before marriage, then it's transactional love.
Even in the sense of like, not even on the other person, but even on yourself. Because I know a lot of people, girls as well, who feel as though they can't be in a relationship if they haven't had sex yet. And you also have to look within and think like, why is that so important to me and where did I learn that from? Because you have to have learned that from somewhere.
Yes.
Because as a woman, we don't even think like that.
Yes.
So it's like, where did you learn that from and who hurt you for you to feel that way? In the sense of, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you until I have sex. Are you adapting to your environment so it's not one-sided? Or are you just, or did you genuinely learn that from someone?
We both spoke about like, you know, still wait until marriage. Because you can, even if you slept with tons of people, you can still make that choice now.
Yeah, I got into a really bad argument. Because some guy was like, because he was talking about waiting till marriage. He was like, damn, I wish I did. And I was like,
you're not in it, bro. You have to move. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not in it?
No, you're in it now.
How do you know?
Because you were there before.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know why this thing keeps freezing. You want me to go check? Yeah, let me check.
I got into a bad argument
because
a friend had said that he wanted to wait until marriage. And I said, well, why don't you do it? He was like, I already had sex. And I was like, you can still wait until marriage. And then we got into a really bad argument because it kind of like switched. Like there was like a switch that went off. And he was like, oh, I would hate if a girl had lost her virginity and now she wants to wait until marriage as soon as she meets me. And you have to think, well, that's entitlement.
Yes.
When like her body, even if she didn't wait until marriage, but she still doesn't want to have sex with you throughout her relationship with you, her body is like, y'all want to say my body, my choice. That is literally my
her
body,
choice. Yes.
my choice. Like, and even for women who think like, oh, I want to have sex with, like, I want to have sex with a guy before a relationship. That's his body, his choice. Like, you can't be one way when it comes to one topic, but not with the other topic.
Yes.
If your partner, you have to love someone without the idea of, yeah, I'm entitled to their body. Yeah, there's gonna be sex promise in that relationship. If you cannot love someone without thinking, I'm entitled to sex in a relationship, then one, you should not be in a relationship, and two, you should really look within, because that could, like, that's why lust turns into really bad situations, because lust could really become dangerous. Like, that is a dangerous way of thinking. Like, I need to have sex with you before we get into a relationship. Okay, what if y'all do have sex and then all of a sudden they just stop wanting to have sex? So now what? You're an emotionally abusive partner? There are so many things that goes into that people don't see the problem with, and that's why sometimes you honestly just have to take a step back and reflect on why you think the way you do.
But that's facts. That's facts. And what you said about, right? The guy telling you, you're welcome. The guy telling you, I already did it, so why not? Like, I need to continue, basically.
Yeah.
That's what my boyfriend told me. He was like, that's what he struggled with, because he's like, I already sinned, so I might as well keep going.
Right.
And that's also something that just human beings struggle with in general. Like, I already lost it, even though I didn't want to, especially if you didn't want to. So you're like, let me just continue. No, you don't need to keep doing the same thing just because you did it once. Damn.
I'm not gonna.
That shit is really disgusting.
Like,
please stop.
bro,
Don't turn me off, bro.
Whoa.
Don't turn me off, bro. Don't turn me off. Damn, like, look at your food, then. Look at your food. Goodness gracious.
Because I was like, damn, that's mad vibrant. And then I started realizing, like, there's a claw attached to what you're eating. Like, there's no shame in nothing.
No shame. No shame in my game. I love this stuff. Anyways. So don't feel like that. And another thing I really wanted to talk about too, because my female friend, she was like, I'm not gonna be, she was like, we agreed that we were gonna, wait until marriage. And she basically, after that, she was like, no, I want to have sex, I want to sleep with men, but most of the time you don't, right? The thing is, most times when you really think about it, you want someone to love you, but you think that they won't love you just for these boundaries. So you start to push your boundaries, or lower your standards. Go ahead.
And most times, like, whenever people become hypersexual, there was a whole TikTok trend that I noticed, and in the comments I noticed that we were all noticing the same things at the same time. And throughout the TikTok trend, in the beginning it started with before I met him, but after I met him. And it started really sweet, like, oh, before I met him, like, I was dressing this way, but then I learned my style. But then it turned into, before I met him, I was like, oh, he could never hurt me. And then it was, he already did. And before it would be this sweet girl, then after it would be this more revealing girl. Not saying that you can't be revealing and sweet, but, like, the way she dressed was more innocent in the beginning, and then the way she dressed, like, it was a complete change. And you notice that ties in a lot with becoming hypersexual after you get your heart broken, because of the simple fact that in reality, all you want is that love that you didn't get in that relationship. So you become hypersexual, and you think the way that you get love is by having sex, because you don't realize that sex is like the last level of intimacy, which is literally why God created sex for marriage, because that is the last level. The second to last level is the marriage, so that means the last level is sex. So that is why people crave that, because you crave what God has desired the whole time, but you don't know it, so you do it the wrong way.
What you said is so true, because let me tell you, my first relationship, honestly, now that I think about it, you remember him. I was not hypersexualized until after him. I was not dressing crazy, none of that.
Bite guy?
Yeah.
What's so
Oh my god! Yo. Anyways.
Wow, I never even noticed that. Literally,
I was just thinking about it.
I never even noticed that.
I was like, because also I didn't want to lose my virginity until marriage, so I was like, there's no point in me looking sexy when I know what comes with it, so why would I even do that? Silly me. After he broke my heart, even though I didn't lose my virginity to him, but after he broke my heart, I was like, you know what, like that, like subconsciously I'm like, I'm gonna find love. Clearly men like this, so I'm gonna dress this way, not realizing not all men like that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Most men really don't. It's honestly just that
They want something to have sex with
Yeah.
quick. But yeah, and my man was telling me the other day, he's like, listen, it's sad to say, but there's a difference with men between who they want to sleep with and who they want to make their wife. Right? So there is a difference. And unfortunately, there are men who will never get to the place of just wanting to make someone their wife. So they'll always look at women who they just want to sleep with. But when you really look at, I'll never forget, I was at this concert, this rap concert. And there were couples and then there were single girls. The single girls all dressed the same. You know, like they were
Right.
very revealing. They were gorgeous, but they all dressed the same. They all had the same body type, of course. And then the girls in relationships were like, they were a little more covered. Like, it doesn't mean that that's what makes you a wife, but it means that it does bring a little bit more of a respectful man, right? So I will say that. And it comes with, of course, just not just how you dress, because like I said, I had a friend who dressed the same way, acted the same way, but she was out there.
right, promiscuous.
But when you do start to know, okay, this is what I want and this is what I'm gonna get, then you don't do those things.
Also, it's like, even if you don't care about how a male views you, because I hear a lot of people saying that, even though they're straight, which is a lie. But
Yeah.
because realistically speaking, it's nature. Like,
It is.
God aside, humans aside, nature, like male lions, female lions, they do certain things to attract each other. Male peacocks, female
Facts.
peacocks, they do certain things to attract each other.
Big facts.
If you are straight and you are a woman, you care about what the male thinks. Like,
Yeah, you're not getting
you're
half
not
naked
doing
unless-
this for you.
yeah.
Cause I have yet. If you show me one woman who posts revealing things in her close friends and it's all women in there and she's straight, then you win. You win. If you know a woman who posts revealing things on social media and not one man follows her, and she still continues to do it, you win. You win. You got it. But I have yet to see it, and you have yet to see it. So until then, women do things and men do things for the people that they want to be attracted to them, because they want them to be attracted to them.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what I was saying. Even if you do not know that yet, and you really are trying to tell yourself like, oh, I do this for me, I do this for me, then really like ask yourself, how does this benefit me?
Right.
What benefits have I gotten yet?
And not just
What
temporal
relationship
5
am I
minute
in?
Mm-hmm.
And if you are in a relationship, how is that relationship doing? Because I see a lot of people who feel as though, oh, because they're in a relationship, I don't have to change what I wear. Like, there are some guys who are like, oh, well, if I got my girl fired, then I have to let her be fired in a relationship. One, you have to be a man. Like, it's time that you step up and you understand that putting your foot down can be respectful. The same way as if you're not putting your foot down, someone's foot has to be down in order for y'all to walk. So trust and believe that someone's putting their foot down, and if you're a man and you're not doing it, it is not you. And the same way, vice versa.
Ooh, that's good, bro. That is good, bro. Did you just make that up?
Yeah, cause I'm I'm really tired of guys saying that.
Yeah.
Like, I hear that so much, especially in my generation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got her as a bad bee, so I have to allow her to be the bad bee in a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you're becoming the woman. Like, that's all it is. It's either you're insecure and you feel as though if you say something, or you may have just never grown up seeing a man stand up to a woman,
Yeah.
and that is okay.
Or
But
just
you have
lead
to
a
be that
woman.
change. Yeah.
I also think too, though, because it's something that I don't like. Don't get in a relationship with someone with the intentions of changing them. And I say that because don't want her because she looks sexy, very sexualized, right? And that makes you feel a type of way physically. And then you get with her and now you're trying to get her to dress differently. That's not how it works.
Exactly.
Yeah, like if you know who you are, you're gonna attract what you want, right?
But also, if you do get her that way and you realize throughout that relationship,
Yeah.
that is different. But if you enter the relationship with
Yeah.
the intention of changing her, then you need to find someone who's already the end goal that you had in mind for her.
That's big facts. And I think that's a power thing. But I love what you said, because there are men who they've been with their girl for a long time and now they're changing. They're like, I don't like the same things.
Yeah.
I'm growing and I want my girl to grow with me.
Yeah.
If she's not growing, you don't need to be with her. You know, you don't. You really don't. And I think that I'm glad we're saying this too, because I usually talk to the girls, but I think men need to
Yeah.
boys, men, whatever, need to hear
It's
this
funny
too.
because we're opposites. You usually talk to girls. My audience is mainly for guys, and the reason why,
really?
yeah, on social media I'm always mainly talking to guys, and then the girls get upset with me and they call me a pick me. But the reason why I do that is because if I believe a man needs to lead, then I honestly talk to the men more.
Yeah, that makes sense. See, my thing was I struggled with that because men never wanted to hear what I had to say, which is my own thing. But
Wow, that's so interesting. That was opposite for me. Men always
Yeah.
wanted to hear what I had to say, and the women always wanted to shut me out.
interesting,
Literally.
interesting. Well,
That's so interesting.
yeah. So, I think it is important as a man that you don't think. Let's be honest. There are men who want a woman who's beautiful because they haven't had that caliber of what they think is beautiful. I'm not talking about what I think is beautiful, but you know, society has put their own limits now on what is attractive, what you what's attractive, all that stuff, right? So a lot of men nowadays, they get the girl who got their body done, who did all this stuff, who looked great, right? And then they think if they grow in that relationship, like, I can't find anyone as good physically. Like, it's their trophy girl, so I might as well just stay with her. No. Like, that's not... First of all, you should never put your limits just on physicalities. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't want someone who's physically attractive because, you know, we all have a desire. But don't ever feel like like you're not the prize too, basically.
You know what's crazy? I actually dealt with that, and I feel like it stems from a lot of things with like how you grow up. Even if you did grow up attractive, there are a lot of times where you can either be overlooked or you can just be looked at as attractive. And if you didn't grow up as attractive, then you may honestly just want that. You may want that that equal feeling of just being as attractive as your partner instead of having to settle for whoever wants you because you never got to experience that before. And I remember the first guy who I dealt with who was in my eyes very attractive, and I was about like 19. And in my eyes, I did not grow up attractive. My sister feels as though I did, but I don't believe I grew up attractive. So with that being said, when I met this guy, there were a lot of things that I let slide because of the simple fact that I thought this is the best I'm gonna get. So I have to let this slide. But that is not true at all. Like, that is not true at all. You should never settle because of, like she said, something physical. And also, you should honestly never even want to put yourself in that headspace of, oh, well, this is all I'm gonna get. If you feel like that's all you're gonna get and you don't want it, then listen, don't do it. Literally just don't do it. If that's all you're gonna get, then give it to someone else. Give it to someone else.
You?
Yeah.
Wow.
Help.
Wow.